Hello, it's Kadesha. I'm back with another video. Other than focus, another word that is our word for the rest of our life, not for just this year, is to remain humble. I don't know. This is kind of like old news, so it may be new news because it's going to. Well, I have two situations here, two stories I want to talk about. But I told you I'm a sports analyst and that I may have to go to another sport. But for the time being, I'm still talking about the NBA and the NFL for the time being. But I guess not really the NBA anymore because it's the final is over. But the NFL, one of like a veteran player that's like still basically in their prime got released from their team, and they have a lot of stuff going on in their life. However, most of the time when we are in a position, we think we cannot get fired or we cannot be released or we cannot be demoted. And I think that's just a warning for all of us in whatever position that we're in, is to remain humble. And it actually, when I was watching a movie, that this actually scared me because, and I say scare me because in the movie, the lady was doing really she started off like at the bottom in a company and worked her way up to the top, and she would give credit to the Lord. But then after a while she became like really arrogant and just was so much different than how she was, and her father was telling her like how he's not pleased with her anymore. And I wouldn't say that she got demoted, but she started doing things that was really outside of her character, just to say the least. And anybody can be in that situation. And this just goes back to my video about don't say what you would or would not do unless you're in that situation, because you really don't know. And unfortunately, we would like to think like, oh, if I get this big platform, if I get this or that, I will continue to be the way the Lord has called me to be. And I'm sure as we look back in the Bible, I'm sure those other people had the same intentions, to where they were like, I'm going to please the Lord, I'm going to do what the Lord is telling me to do. But it's one thing when you don't have that position or that platform versus when you do. And we just have to remain humble like every single day. And like I said, it scared me because I am in the position of, I'm like, Lord, use me for your glory, use me for your glory. And I don't know exactly where that will take me. And I could stay right here, that's fine. But the Lord could also elevate me to a different level that I've never seen before. And I'm just like, Lord, do not, and I say Lord do not, but that's more so me, because the Lord doesn't change. It's us as humans change when we get those positions that the Lord has of course blessed us with, because it's the Lord allows it. And so we can't act like whatever position that we're in that the Lord didn't okay it. So I was just like, Lord, please, please. And it just made me realize I have to be more intentional with my life, because it's easy to get out of character when you're in a different place that you've never been before. So this is just a video for me, and more so for myself. I always say these videos be for me, but for myself to think back when the Lord put me in a certain position and be like, oh, that's what you want to do? That's what you want to do? Is this what we're doing? And I'm like, no, let me remain humble in every sense of the word. Because just like we were promoted to whatever position the Lord has allowed us to be in, we could also get demoted and be looking around and wondering what is going on. I remember, and this is so sad, I don't even talk about him anymore, but it was a rookie in the NFL that was doing phenomenal in his first 3 or 4 years in the NFL. And unfortunately, you don't hear about him anymore. I don't even know if he has a team. But it's just like, and that's why we have to be good stewards, because we will oftentimes think like, oh, if I'm making all this money, it's going to forever be here. And so we go out and make big purchases that with that money, with that continued money, yeah, I can continue to fulfill this lifestyle. But if that money begins to dwindle, then what? And so we have to really be good stewards over everything that the Lord has given us, not just money, but time, relationships, every single thing, because we can take those things for granted. And one thing about taking things for granted is that you will lose them. So thank you so much for watching. Like I always say, sa kung yo que quieres ver en otros, bo me laga na cominda. Until next time, bye.